Okay, so let's talk a little bit about why you would choose an overflow over the traditional bulkhead fitting that you see in many cases. Step one. Actually, I would love to have a bulkhead fitting, but as you can see, the tank is not exactly plain on this side. I didn't want to spoil my tank, so that's the other thing. With an overflow, you don't need to drill any holes in your tank. You can repurpose it for other things without concerns about where you put the hole last. Also have the ability for your SLO, your solids listing outlet, to be repositioned within the tank wherever you want it without having to re-drill any holes. I think that's probably one of the biggest things about this. There's also the fact that the bulkhead fitting is actually fairly expensive normally. Now you do have the option of the uni-seals that I know are quite popular. Unfortunately, I'm unable to actually source any of them here in Japan. I know Rob Bob, big shout out to him, he's done an amazing job in his aquaponics, and he's doing one of the very inspiring channels for me. So, how does an overflow work? An overflow, normally if you're just filling water into a tank, it will overflow wherever you want it to. And the top level will obviously be at the edge because that's where it overflows. So what makes it overflow where you want it to is decided on where you have a prime siphon in this. Now, it might be a little bit tricky to explain it just looking at the bigger setup here. So what I've done is I will try and explain it using an old, small side overflow that I created for my fish tank. Now essentially I have a bare bottom fish tank, which means that there's no substrate in it. Everything, all the fish poop, for large goldfish, they poop a lot, so it can be difficult to keep clean. There's no substrate in it, nothing for the solids to catch onto, and it's easy to keep clean that way. That means that when I have a flow in the tank, it circulates down to the bottom. Everything that's on the bottom, because it's glass, just gets swept over to where my solids lifting outlet is, and in my tank inside, I'll show you this later, there's similar sort of setup issues. So again, as with fish tanks, glass, drilling that is particularly tricky compared to something like PVC. But what you can do is, with the overflow, is have one pipe that goes in, and then have everything happen from that, which I think we do here. So, this is not meant to be two components, it's just a broken up version. You can imagine that this, so normally if this is the end of your tank, you've got one pipe going in, one pipe going out, and what you want is for the water to automatically lift up and over the edge of the tank, and not everywhere in the tank. And now first you need to decide what's going to be the level at which it overflows. That happens when you decide on the inside of your tank how far up you set the tube that folds up. Most people, what they'll do is they'll have essentially this on the inside. This will be the pipe that goes into the tank, and it will fold back up again. And the top of this, as long as it's below the edge of the aquarium, that will decide the level of water in the tank. What I've decided to do is I've decided to have everything, instead of having a dual pipe inside, I've made a pipe within a pipe. What that means is that I have a small closed pipe. You can see the end cap at the bottom. We capture that in another pipe so that the outlet that goes over the edge into the tank goes within this. That means that when the water rises up, it will fill up within this pipe, but only to the edge of where this inner pipe is. So let's say this is actually also the top of the fish tank. Within this, it will be about an inch or 2.5 centimeters or so. Below the top of the tank is where the water will flow into the inner pipe, into that, down to the end cap, up through the overflow, and back out the tank again. This has a couple of advantages. One of them is that if you drill holes in the top at the same level where your deciding top level factor is, that means that you can have a water surface skimmer in place, because water will slowly seep in through these to take off any of that biofilm that might sometimes happen. And it will also work as a functional mechanical overflow. In case something clogs down here, it will overflow and will still flow up through this pipe rather than over the edges of the pipe. As long as this is below the edge of your aquarium. That's one. The other thing is, for me, because I have a bare bottom tank, this stands at the bottom of the aquarium, and as you can see, there's an edge here. That means that the main outflow from the aquarium is actually going to be sucked from the bottom, where all the poop is collecting anyway. Now, if you have bigger fish like me, this is great. This will take any solids and just suck it right out of the actual tank. If you have small fish, you might want to go with something like a netting in front of this. As long as it's big enough that you won't catch any fish in it, they can't get sucked out. But it should, of course, have holes that are big enough that your solids will get sucked out anyway. So this essentially sits inside the tank. If you have an edge, or a background on your aquarium, then essentially this front pipe is all you see within the actual tank. And of course you can cover this up with lava rock, and you can hide this anywhere you want. In my aquaponics system, obviously that's not really relevant. You just want the functionality and the advantages that I just mentioned from using a pipe like this in the tank. This is why I have it standing in the middle of the tank, 100mm pipe, and a 40mm pipe overflow, so I can move. I'm sure someone's going to check in on this, but I think it's something like 1,500 gallons per hour or more through this. This is more than enough for inflow in this system. And essentially, obviously, you want this to be oversized to whatever your pump can provide. If it is not, and your pump provides more than this can relieve from the system, you will have a different kind of overflow that you don't want. So, this stands in the middle. All of this I can just take out, clean it out if I need to. It's very easy to deal with. And I can move it to different sides of the tank if needed. But once I create a bit of a circular flow in here, most soil is going to end up in the middle where the suction is. So that's the advantages of using this. Now you do have similar advantages by having a normal SLO, normal solid distilling outlet. The only difference is it's usually pretty decided once you drill that one hole where things are going to end up. If you have a round tank, well, it needs to go in the middle. On a square tank like this, you may not have the circular motion that you might want. You might want to put this at the edge and then have some sort of circulator so that you get what's in the corners. You might have different issues. This way at least I can move on as I want to. Now, why does it work? That's a different story. So the reason why this comes out has a lot to do with the same way that U siphons are primed. So essentially, at the top here, we actually have a U siphon, and that's why we have the outflow where we have it. Let's put this back together again. So, you imagine that this is the pipe that goes within the ground. All of this is on the outside behind it, covered. This is the outlet for the sump tank. And this is just a stand pipe so that the water that will fill up the pipe doesn't overflow. It's essentially open. It needs to be able to suck in air. If you do not, you will have a siphon effect that will pinch out the water all the way down. Now in my case, because I have an end cap on here, that means you cannot go down further than what's actually in the edge of this pipe. So that's no longer a problem. But if you had a normal SLO that just goes down and a 90-degree T output, you could have it actually siphon out the entire tank, which is why most people have a T section at the top, and the top bit is open so that it won't start that siphon effect. This is essentially what this pipe at the top does. It means this part is just sucking air so that it does not suck out everything. What I usually do is, in order to cut down on noise, I just drill a small hole, put this on, and it's hot and audible. Once you put it in your aquarium the first time around, what you need to do is prime it just like you would with a U siphon. Usually what I do is I hold the edge of the outlet. This part is underwater. You suck on up here. That initiates the siphon. And as soon as it reaches here, it's going to want to stay level here. Since it will fill up and go up until here. Once it's there, you let go here, and the pressure from whatever's in the pipes will start to flow out here. Now, once the water empties out from here, this is going to be the new water level. So whatever overflows from that inner pipe is going to go in, but it's not going to go up above this, because as soon as it hits above this level, it'll start flowing out here. If I stop my pump and no further pressure from the inner tank is added, then the water level will cap off at here. But this pipe will still be primed. Because this flows above this line, whatever is up here, just like in the normal U siphon, it will stay primed. So I can stop my pump in the aquarium, feed my fish, make sure that everything stays in there till I think that the fish has everything they need. Stop my pump again, pressure in the aquarium builds up, and it overflows again, and falls out the right path, so to speak. That's how it works. So that's the good thing about it. The ability to not have to reprime it. There's no concerns about, let's say you have a power outage when you're not home. At some point while you're still not home, the power comes back on again. If it was not made as a section like this, it wouldn't reinitiate because it would have lost its prime. But because it has that bend up behind it, if this had just gone down to the tank, it would have sucked out everything. But because it goes up, this stays primed even if there's no pressure. Once the power comes back on again, pump initiates, puts more water in, and it just reflows out. I don't need to be there. I'm not concerned about it. It hasn't happened to me, but I do this every single day. I turn off the pump, feed my fish. Once I think they've caught up with most of it, and I know now it's time to move, I start the pump again. Everything just starts reflowing. No need to do anything about it. That's the advantages of having this in. Well, this looks crazy, but like I said, I'll show you the aquarium in a second, and you'll see that all that's in the tank is one pipe. The rest of this sits behind the tank, so hidden away. And if you have a background on your fish tank, then this is all you see in there. And again, this you can cover up if you want. I haven't bothered to. Mine is just a temporary place for my fish before they go up in the real tank once we get to around March. So that's essentially how that works. There's a couple of different variations of it. Let me just show you a bigger version. So another version, same scaling as what I have here is what I initially used for the radial filter. This was sitting in it like this, and this section came out, and that's essentially what was connected to the overflow here. So it came up, and the height of this would be obviously what was setting the inner level in the radial filter. So there's nothing stopping you from doing this inside the normal tank as well. If you have substrate in your fish tank, I know this is somewhat outside of the area of aquaponics, but let's say that you have a normal fish tank inside, and you don't want your pump to suck up, grab all sorts of stuff from your substrate. Then what you can do is, in that space, on the inside, you can just have something like, there we go, something like this. This bit from here on would be on the inside of the tank, obviously scaled down, but this would be on the inside. And instead of sucking from the bottom, you could just have the inner pipe beside the level of which it should take up water. Now, a cleaner version of this, in my opinion, would still be to have one pipe on the inside instead of having that U inside. And then just simply have it go all the way down. Don't have it open at the bottom. And then just, you can drill a couple of different holes in here, and you can have the water flow in through that. It's a cleaner look, and probably easier to cover up with the lava rock or plants on the outside if that's what you want to do. But that's for a different video. If you have any questions, curious about anything that you think might optimize it, please do tell me in the comments below. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you. If you thought this was educational or maybe at least helpful or entertaining, please do let me know. Give me a likes, and I'll have an idea of what to do next time.